All right, everybody, welcome to the show. I'm here now with our special guest, Mr. Tony Sparks.
Hello.
And we are going to be discussing pressing matters of the day in the world that we live in. All right, Tony, we got a great show. Tony is a serial entrepreneur and a blockchain developer guru, and he is all about changing the world, which is what we encourage people to do. Get out there and do all the things. Don't wait for someone to tell you got to do something. The world is moving towards a decentralized existence, which is very good. Because that puts the power in the people's hands. It's way more democratic than the world we really live in. But anyway, we're going to discuss some fun topics that everybody can relate to. We're going to start off with hip-hop.
Yes, hip-hop is a subject that people like, and it's out here, man. Whether you like it or not, hip-hop is a thing.
It has, found its way into all walks of life, all classes, different industries. People are quoting it. People are making memes off of it. People are going viral with it. It's powerful. People even have, these stuffy, really, just like consulting firms or whatever, have analysts comparing hip hop to rock and roll and trying to explain why it's more exciting. It's like, well, obviously it's more exciting. Like, it's more successful, most popular genre. And see, this is just the thing I find interesting about it is that when it started, a lot of people did not like it. A lot of it was violent, misogynistic.
No, we're not in the beginning. I don't know the beginning, right? The beginning is like fucking, we have Run DMC, right? The hip, to the hippie, to the hip hop. You don't stop the rock to the bang bang boogie.
You got KRS-One.
Yeah, I mean, then that's, that. Right?
No, I mean, but actually you bring up a good point. That's like hip, I got nothing but sweat inside my hands. Like, like hip hop from the 80s, I feel like it really was just about describing your environment, and it wasn't about embellishing or trying to make this like, glorified or just kind of like me, like, which is what I feel like a lot of people are using it, the vehicle, and it's just in different ways. I mean, it goes through phases, because I just remember, growing up, it was just seen as this terrible thing by people that I interacted with, and that probably wasn't the case for you. People were probably like, oh, this is life. Like, oh, this is what we kick back and have barbecues and listen to.
I got the Black Album for Christmas in middle school.
Did you ask for it?
No, it was a gift, and it was nice. I really appreciated Jay-Z and his 99 Problems and how a bitch was not.
Maybe for him. But hey, maybe we'll all learn something on this show, and that can change.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, it really is a fascinating, people say music is the highest form of art. And the most popular genre is at the, top of the food chain there for music, which is hip hop.
Yeah, I think that statement that music is the highest form of art, at first I was like, what about art? But then again, with music, you paint a picture of someone's head, right? And if you say like, yo, guns on the street and shit's everywhere, to one person that might be literal shit everywhere, right? And they're like, wow, this is interesting. But the other person, like, yo, man, I get he's just talking about regular shit or some other shit, right?
And not necessarily encouraging a type of behavior.
Yeah, or
it's more like, this is just what I experienced, or this is what's going on, and I'm going to talk about it. Kind of like an investigative journalist.
Yeah, I mean, really, while I was just saying, like, I was just a random bar or whatever, but I'm trying to say, like, music allows for the picture to be in everyone's own head. Like, you have your own universe of what the music means to you, what you see when you hear it, right? And, like, as opposed to art, which is a painting, which, like, there's only one painting you see. Now, what does that mean to you, right? As opposed to, like, there's a whole painting in your fucking head. You close your eyes, you go to a different world with music. That's a very accurate statement. I think music may be the highest form of art.
Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting, and I guess just like political shifts and ways that, people, for me, my biggest issue with just the world we're in right now with music and specifically hip hop is kind of just this dichotomy, if you will, where it feels like it's it's glorified and seen as a very positive thing. But then it's like the things that they're talking about can also be used against the person doing it, or seen as a negative, seen as like, when in reality the person just maybe, they're just expressing themselves, maybe they're frustrated, but if people see something or interpret something a certain way, it can be seen as bad, and that person can be made out as a bad human being, which I don't think is fair, because people get down to the stuff that they fight against. And that's my biggest issue, is there's so many hypocrites that love hip-hop.
What does dichotomy mean?
It's kind of like a split and kind of like a almost two things going like different directions, almost like it's maybe like a kind of like a contradiction, almost like the dichotomy between having, I don't know, having like
work
having having a 5-star hotel and across the street is a slum.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying.
I think that's. I mean, I know. I'm just
economies,
it's coming off the brain.
Two environments
Dichotomy,
kind of coexisting, like
dichotomy.
Like the dichotomy,
Like kind of
like the upstairs and downstairs.
Yeah,
you know.
It's just kind of like two coming from the same source, but two different, entirely kind of different ways of going about something. Should look that up.
Yeah, it's vocabulary is what we do
Yeah,
on the show.
totally.
If you have a question about like a definition or something, you just ask it and then you learn it. That's how I learn things.
Yeah, you live on the fringes of society. We're gonna love what you do, like your life's work, but you're gonna be a starving artist, or we're gonna treat you differently. That's my issue. And that can lead into cultural appropriation. Because to me, cultural appropriation is just people are in their feelings today. And it's kind of like, to me, when people first started talking about what cultural appropriation was, and the way it was described to me was the majority class taking a minority's customs or whatever, dress, art, and doing it. To me, that was just assimilation.
Yeah, I think that was just people like absorbing culture,
Which has happened since the dawn of time.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing for that to happen, right? I think when you talk about like some guy who listens to hip hop, loves Jeezy and shit like that, but then some black guy comes in and tries to get a job. He's like, ugh, black people, I like listening to music but not to see you, right? Like, I think, I've even seen a comic, like, in Cleveland kind of talk about that. Like, that's a joke or whatever the fuck, but it's like, yeah, we want to, like, just listen to this stuff, but then, like, not interact with you, right?
More or less. I just read an article saying that.
Yeah. So it's like, it's unfortunate. I feel like, when it comes to people absorbing culture, that's good. Like NWA being, like, listened to by kids in, like, cul-de-sacs and stuff, and, like, suburbia, like, that's basically when they start paying attention to the music, right? It's like when like the parents notice their kids idolizing the black guys, right? And they're like, what?
They got freaked out.
Yeah, what about Elvis? We're like, nah, man, we want to listen to that booty popping music and shake our asses and learn how to twerk. And I like to see white girls twerk.
Yeah.
I like to see women twerk.
It's
like,
interesting you bring up
I want to
Elvis.
see some Indians twerking, some Japanese women twerking.
It's for everybody. Twerking's for the people.
Ethiopians, yes, everybody should twerk. The women.
Nobody appropriated that.
Yeah, we should culturally appropriate twerking. It's happening. It's happening, man. We need to spread that.
See, like,
twerk appropriation.
To me, I guess I can understand to a degree, okay, this term cultural appropriation, when someone's maybe being disrespectful, right? Like, in the sense, like, this has happened to me, being a brown person in America, just kind of like, someone, say they're like wearing a red dot on their head and being like, I'm doing the salt march to the sea, or like, thank you, come again, like, like shit like that, like yeah, like that's like kind of whack, or it's just like you're just being racist, or you're being like an asshole, like that. I understand, like some white person, say, wearing a dot on their head and like running around doing all the stereotypical things of an Indian disrespectfully. I feel like, yeah, like that's like whack, but it's not like a crime per se. It's just kind of like that person's a jackass. Like versus, say, a woman who's not of a certain culture really enjoying the art created by that culture and wearing a dress, a traditional dress, because she thought it was pretty. Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, women should wear dresses.
People say that there's something wrong with that, though. That's my issue with cultural appropriation, is it's gone too far.
They don't have to wear dresses.
No, they don't have to. People don't have to do anything. But that's my issue with just kind of this crazy, over-the-top movement going on right now of people are being in their feelings is it's kind of taking away from culture.
Can I tell you about some cultural appropriation that I do?
Please.
All right. So I appropriate this from the Indian culture, right? And it's like this head nod that I do when I'm thinking sometimes.
Okay.
You know, like,
That's a thing, yes.
I don't know. You know?
Yeah, no, I mean, that more or less is just kind of like a, oh yeah, like I hear what you're saying type thing. Like, that's the way I interpret it. I could be completely wrong because, you know.
It's like,
I don't think it means I don't know. I think it just means like, oh yeah.
No, I'm in the process
Go
of thinking.
go on, like, you know, keep going. Like, you know, what are you talking about? Like, it doesn't mean like yes or no. It just kind of means like, oh, we're talking right now and I'm vibing with you. That's the way I interpret it. But I don't know for sure. Maybe we should have someone on the show who can tell us.
Well, no, you're an Indian guy. You just told us.
No. I wasn't raised in India, so I don't know all the idiosyncrasies and whatnot. You know what? We can define that. Idiosyncrasies. The next word to define.
Yes, because I wasn't totally sure what that. I have an idea.
It means. Okay, go ahead. What do you think it means?
Oh shit.
All right, let me help you out. It means an entity's kind of like unique, specific habits or characteristics. That's the way I interpret the idiosyncrasies. All right, cool. But okay, so we've had our little spiel on cultural appropriation.
Yes, that was the end of our segment of cultural
Someone told me it was fake. Someone told me cultural appropriation wasn't a thing. I'm not going to name names because they might get yelled at.
Who's this guy?
But they were just like, it's fake. It's not a thing. Anyway, moving on.
Yang. Let's talk
Yang.
about the Yang.
Yin and Yang?
Yes. Yin and Yang.
Who is Yin?
Yin.
The Yin Yang twins?
No.
Are we bringing this back to hip hop?
No. I mean, but
Shake it like a salt shaker, shake it like a salt shaker. Okay. But who are you really talking about?
So Yang is this political guy that's running as a Democrat, right? And he's talking about this freedom dividend, right?
Yang, apologies for my insensitivities. Is this man of Chinese origin?
Yeah, actually.
Okay, good. No, not
His name is
insensitivities
Yang.
versus presumptuousness or presumptivity.
Danny did not assume he asked.
Yes, I did.
Because it sounded like a Chinese.
No, yeah, because for instance, if your name's like Satoshi Nakamoto,
Yes.
I'm gonna think you're Japanese.
Yes.
Because the name, they have that sort of flow to it. Like you can kind of identify like different names that you feel like sound more like a certain thing, from a certain place. Continue.
Danny, can I tell you a secret?
The secret of the universe? Please.
It's one of my secrets.
One of your secrets of the universe?
I am Satoshi Nakamoto.
You invented Bitcoin.
Yes, Tony Sparks.
All right, the views on this video just skyrocketed.
Yeah, everyone should know this now.
All right.
Be like, damn, I know Tony Sparks is out here. Doing
I
shit
don't know where he lives, but it might be on the west side of a certain city that won't be named. All right.
It doesn't rhyme with the bats. The best bank
That doesn't
of the bats.
rhyme. It doesn't rhyme with freehand,
It doesn't rhyme with the free hand.
which is a dope place.
I like the free hand. So anyways, Yang, right? So he's this political dude, right? He's
Sure.
running for Democrat. He's like from like Wall Street, in my opinion.
Was he one of those crooks?
No. I fucked up. No, Silicon Valley.
Oh,
Right?
that is different
Way
than Wall Street.
different and better, right? Smart guys, tech guys. I'm a tech guy.
Yeah.
right?
They're actually,
they
like,
know how to do business
creating
out there.
shit, yeah.
I feel like he's what people thought Trump was supposed to be.
Okay.
Right? A business guy comes in, does business shit. America gets better because he's an outsider. He's just like, yo, business. And then the economy's like going nuts.
In what way has he been racist? I'm just curious. Like outwardly during the campaign and during his tenure as president. That's what I want to know.
Yo, man, he had straight up this racist dude, like Buchanan or some shit. Like the guy that had the 5 o'clock shadow on grade, and he had the hair slicked back, and then he got fired at some point. That dude was like a KKK dude. And he was like in the fucking White House, like co-signed by Trump.
That's not good. I mean, I guess that's like racist by
And then
affiliation.
he didn't come out and say, hey man, the KKK isn't cool. I feel like you should be able to say that as an individual.
Yeah, just kind of like
If you
you
wanna
don't
be
need
my
to fact
president,
check or
you
get
should.
approval to say certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah, hate groups are not good.
You shouldn't hate groups.
No, that's not a thing. No,
do
it's
that.
bad. It's just bad.
Why would you do that?
So back to Yang.
Yeah, so Yang, right? First of all, I don't think he's like down with the KKK, right? And then also, so,
He's not.
Yeah. So he wants to do this freedom dividend, right?
Is he first generation Chinese American?
I suspect. I don't know.
Okay, cool. So freedom. So basically, you're saying he's using his political run as a vehicle for his crypto agenda?
Let me say, because he didn't talk about crypto yet, right?
Okay,
And
okay.
that's what I'm trying to say. He ain't like, if you're trying to do dividends transparently, you need blockchain. Hit your boy up, Tony Sparks. I got you. I'm already doing dividends, son. It's called RTOs, revenue token offerings. I'm out here. Shouts out, right? But then, anyways, he acknowledges that like shit like Uber, like Tesla with their self-driving car, like America is moving towards automation, right? And a lot of people's jobs are going to be replaced. Like, that's currently already going on. Like, we used to do manufacturing, the Industrial Revolution, we were booming, we were doing shit. Rockefeller was doing stuff. Carnegie Steel was making the fucking buildings. Shouts out Pittsburgh, not for real, because I don't like the Steelers, but also, Cleveland got built up, with some Carnegie Steel. So, I like Carnegie. Anyways, we used to do that, but now we're not doing, China's doing all the manufacturing. What the fuck are we going to do? He knows that like we're running out of like the manufacturing world, and like we need some other shit. And so like, in my opinion, I think people should move towards our main export as being technical ideas or ideas period. If you see what America's currently producing, it's like Facebook, right? It's Uber.
Oh,
it's
that's an
fucking
interesting
Airbnb.
point.
Yeah, like our fucking main export should be like economic fucking development.
So what you're saying is they're just people, almost like they're entrepreneurs who see opportunities to make businesses that aren't truly innovating as true technologies. They're more so using existing platforms to connect people and make money off of a service versus a true breakthrough in science.
It's more so like the idea that an entrepreneur had an idea for an app or a business or whatever. That's our biggest export, bro.
Okay.
Like Steve Jobs, Apple, right?
Absolutely.
Some dude had a fucking idea, and now iPhones all around the world, right? Like I think we should, actively try to like do shit like what Jumpstart's supposed to do or whatever the fuck, right? And like other people, businesses, right? Accelerators, right? Business incubators, right? Let's produce that. It should be as common as a library, right? And for some kid in the ghetto or wherever the fuck, in the country, right? The towns, the rural shit, everywhere. Red America, I'm with you. I'm with you, Red America. We gotta put that shit there so they can like stop worrying about manufacturing and coal jobs and start, thinking about maybe some tech businesses, right? Maybe they pitch shit, they can sell shit. We can go to other countries to sell shit. We can get those entrepreneurs and developers. We can export fucking IP, intellectual property shit, right?
Yeah.
Yo, we go to China, wherever the fuck where people don't have intellectual property rights. Say, hey man, we'll give you rights. We got blockchain, baby. Don't worry, And then we document this shit. Say, hey man, come to America, or we'll come here. We'll develop your country. We'll do Ubers everywhere. Netflix is everywhere.
Uber everywhere.
Uber everywhere. Tony,
That's a song. I guess what we're getting away from though is the point. You're saying you want economic development, entrepreneurship everywhere, which is fine. It's a universal concept.
Yeah.
But I guess what I found interesting is I thought that you were saying that our biggest exports aren't true scientific innovations in the sense that Airbnb, Uber, I thought you were saying like we're not really pushing the envelope here. Like we're not inventing new processes that are gonna change. We're more so just dealing with social sort of businesses and like gig economy, not, we invented a brand new material that is, whatever, or we came up with this alternative fuel source, or we came up with this way to clean the water in the lake, and that you can just clean water, like, versus, we just came up with these internet businesses can make some bros rich. Maybe I missed the point.
No, I think you're close. Like, I'm saying that basically it's not that we're innovating like scientific ideas as our export. I'm just saying like just the concept of a business is our export.
Sure.
Really good IT businesses or businesses period that like the world needs. So, all right, so just try to call, shit.
All right, well, thank you, everybody. That's going to wrap up our first show, and a big thank you to Tony Sparks for his insight. So we'll see you again. Stay tuned.
Yes, it was nice talking to you guys for sure. You know, I got client stuff I got to deal with. I'm about
Hell
to do
yeah.
that right now.
The hustle.
But this is great, man. I
This
feel
is-
like
this is
yeah.
good.
Shout out Yang Yang, man. $1,000 a month.
All right, so you're endorsing Yang for president? Is
Yes.
that true? He's Democrat?
Yes.
All right. It's going to be interesting.